Okay, guys, let's do floor 58 now. So for this floor, if you actually have Hollow Purple Gojo, it should be very easy because the main gimmick this enemy have is obviously he can either use melee damage taken or range damage taken every other turn. But the same with Hollow Purple Gojo's ultimate is that it doesn't count as range or melee. So if you have Hollow Purple Gojo, you should be able to burst this through very, very quickly. Instead, what I'm going to show you guys is actually a store strategy. Same because you're storing using Mojito. Mojito always do proportional damage to HP regardless whether it's range or melee. You can always get that consistent damage output as well. Okay. Now in terms of team lineup, basically you can have Mojito. Well, you kind of need Mojito and Hanami in order to recycle through your domains quickly. As for the other two members, because all of the floors past floor 50 get this really annoying thing where like no color advantage character get extra damage taken. I actually tried the traditional Mojito store strategy with R Toge and R Kaito, but unfortunately they can't survive long enough. So instead, what I'm going to use is SR Kaito and Junpei in order to do maximum amount of damage reduction, etc. Um, then in terms of backup slot, my backup slot never came into the field, so it doesn't really matter. However, I do think you can probably make your life a bit easier by basically placing taunt character who is, for example, Miwa, or any like low level taunt character, for example, the Saki Rindo as well. Basically, the idea is that you have this in the main lineup. This will just taunt the enemy and die very quickly. And the main reason why you want to do that is actually activate this Reflection effect, which have a 10% damage taken for the remainder of battle. And this is basically how you can then make sure the rest of your battle goes as easy as possible. And in terms of who you actually want to take out in order to do this, I'd probably suggest Mahito or SR Kaito, mainly because you want the other members to be on the team, on the field when you activate this. So obviously green character take a lot less damage, so it's more easier if you either have Mahito or SR Kaito in the backup. Have this taunt level 1 character die with this reflection activator. So it's extra damage reduction on your Hanami and Junpei who will take more damage in the battle, and then basically just go through that, and then go into like your standard Mahito store. Now, in terms of the actual skill rotation, etc., basically you want to cycle through your domain expansion as fast as possible. And also because you do not have Arkaito to increase curse energy, you have to be very careful with when Hanami is about to use his skill 3 for the debuff. And I tend to use it only on the last turn or maybe the last 2 turns if I have enough curse energy of his domain expansion before using this. And the idea is that because this lasts for 3 turns, that actually allow me to, as soon as I come out of domain expansion, I'll be able to go straight into ultimate gauge increase, still activated on him, and therefore that's gonna be the timing when I pop off this recollection, which obviously can increase ult. Now, if you do not have this recollection, you can also use the free-to-play option. This one also works. You actually get a bit more ult energy, but you lack that HP recovery. So this one's a bit more consistent in case your enemy get targeted all the time. Okay, but you can definitely swap this out. Now, in terms of timing when you want to activate Unity, you only want to activate it as soon as your domain expansion on Hanami is finished. And until that happens, your Mahito is going to conserve all of his curse energy as well. Because once again, you need to be very careful about your curse energy usage in this battle. Now, as soon as Hanami come out of his domain expansion, on the first turn after that, what you're going to do is you're going to pop off Kaito's skill 2 with Unity activated. And the reason why you want to do that is because you want to make sure Unity get activated before Mahito's buff. So it's very important Kaito use skill 2 on the very first turn when domain expansion finish. Then for your Hanami, like I said, pop off your recollection. Mahito will be self-buffing in order to increase ult energy. And then on the second turn, what I would recommend, if it's possible, is actually do a combo tap between SR Kaito and also Junpei. This can actually increase the ult energy on the other two characters, allowing them to charge up their ultimate or domain expansion straight away, and that's basically how you can basically recycle through the domain expansion every 6 turns, I believe. So basically, it takes you 2 turns to charge it up, 1 turn to actually do the attack, and then 3 turns within Haname's domain. So every 6 turns, you should be able to actually pull off 1 domain expansion cycle. So that's kind of the main idea. Now, in terms of other thing you want to take note of is because you will be conserving your Haname's curse energy to only use his skill 3 towards kind of the end of domain expansion. What you want to do is make sure you activate your SR Kaito's skill 2 on the other turns when your Hanami does not have his debuff on. So what that normally means is that when your Hanami does not have his domain expansion on, or doesn't have any of those debuff on, you will tend to be using your skill 2 to make sure that you always keep like a balanced fight throughout this entire time, where you always, well, Junpei will always be debuffing the enemy, that's for sure, but otherwise you'll kind of be alternatively using either SR Kaito's damage reduction or you'll be using Hanami's damage reduction, so you never take too much damage in one go.